Ladies and gentlemen, boys, and actually, apologies, lads. I'm just gonna have to hop in a party. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to AUSF1 Take 2. We are here at the Jeddah Corniche Street Circuit for another round of racing. We are currently missing checkered flag in the McLaren. 2 reserves with us tonight. We've got Campbell Adams in the Red Bull and Mash Jr. in the Kick Sauber. The first driver out on track will be SFR Finn, so we'll jump on board with him. Telemetry enabled for qualifying. It will not be for the race, just for a bit of nerve to some engineers. But I am Ashton, your one and only commentator for night, head of commentary at AUSF1, commentating Tier 1. Aim to do this on the weekly, so prepare to get familiar with my voice. Apologies if there's any background noise. Got a family and there's a bit of a storm happening outside, bit of thunder, lightning, rain, all that jazz. Something you don't see too often in the F1 game at Jeddah, if at all. One of the least likely circuits on the calendar to get rain in the middle of a desert, of course, is the Jeddah Corniche circuit. Well, not in the middle, on the side of one, but like it's in a desert. It's right on the coast, as you can see, left and right of the driver. Heading around turn 26 is ocean, but Finn's will around the final corner to start his lap. The first lap around the Jeddah Corniche circuit. He crosses the line, moving to the right to gain as much speed as possible because he spends more time there. And as we know, distance times time equals speed, something like that. I learned that in science today, but can't remember it now. But Finn coming through turn 4, 5, about to go through turn 6. Tough sequence of track to negotiate, having to do a tiny little lift off the throttle to stop an invalidation and to stop yourself from bottoming out on that curb. Finn's in that Red Bull with that pink helmet coming around turn 8 now. The long left-handed banked sweeper used to be a DRS zone heading into there, but no longer. Throwing the car in through turn 11 and 12. Now through a series of 3 kinks. It's probably not turn 11 and 12, but I'll be happy if it is. A Kick Sauber getting out of the way there. I imagine that would be Keith Responda, as the other one is on his flying lap. But look at Finn's, how he can just effortlessly throw the car through that left-right sweeper. Now heading towards turn 27. You don't want to do a Max Verstappen here like he did in 2021, but Finn's keeps it nice and clean. We'll use the remainder of his battery, heading towards the line, sticks nice and to the left as we've got Yusuf Goat with a DNF. That's not ideal if your name is Yusuf. Oh, right in the middle of the track as well. KLX doing well to avoid him as his car has now despawned. Let's find someone else on a lap, maybe closer to the finish. Mash Jr., he's invalidated. KLX. Apollo Pepsi is coming around the final corner now. 50% of battery to work with, heading towards the line. He'll use as much as he can, sticking to the left-hand side, gaining the most amount of speed possible, you might say, but he must have made a couple mistakes on that lap. At 28.474 for Apollo Pepsi. GLX Cam just starting his lap. We've got Aussie 2K Go ending his, but he has invalidated. The reigning champion will not set a valid lap time on this lap. What time would he have set though? A 28.3, enough for 5th place for him. Well, Ebsy though, he'll be able to get out a better time than a 28.3. No battery left as he crosses the line. It's a 27.1 for Ebsy in that V-Cub. Zan and the V-Cub TP will be very pleased watching him clock that time as he crosses the line. KLX a 28.3, slightly slower than what his teammate would have set. Let's have a look at Glob Drip now, coming towards the line. No ERS left. It's a 29.3, the slowest time so far. We've got Verk halfway through a lap. Aussie 2K go also halfway through one. Let's jump to Cam. He's the furthest along, saving a lot of battery for this final sequence of corners, kinks and straights, throwing the car effortlessly into turn I think 22 and 23, as he will now navigate the long left-hander that sweeps all the way towards turn 27, the final corner around Jeddah. Apologies, he'll cross the line now, 28.226 for GLX Cam. That will put him in position 6. Notably, a couple of drivers not to have set a time. The two Mercedes, as one of them DNF'd, and Nat Hammer is on a outlap. We've got Aussie 2K coming into the pits. Verk is starting his lap. He might be somebody we can ride on board with. In fact, let's have a look at what Verk is doing for this lap, throwing it into turn 4. Now through turn 5, it's easy to spin out on old tyres here, but Verk will be on some fresh C5 compound of tyre, the red banded soft tyre here at Jeddah, as he sets a sector 1 time of a 32.15, something like that. I wasn't exactly paying all too much attention, as Verk continues to progress through the middle sector, throwing it into this right-left chicane, nearly losing the rear by the looks of it, but he is able to keep it under control as the front tyres just tend to grip like they do on this game's handling model. Now trying to keep it as straight as possible through this sequence of kinks, preparing for the left-right flick that we've seen drivers do so effortlessly. Once again, you can just see the front tyres gripping, letting Verk cross the line in the fastest amount of time possible with that driving style, able to just throw it into corners and waiting for the tyres to grip. But Verk now running low on ERS as he comes out of the final corner. He's allowed to use more, but he doesn't have that much to use. He'll come to the line using as much as he can. It is a 28.3, a very common lap time here at this stage. Let's see what is Campbell Adams doing, arguably the fastest driver on this grid. In medium, we've seen a lot of drivers in a hot lap. We'll have to see how big of a difference does it make. You won't lose as much ERS that you can use later on in the lap as he jumps up into hot lap after a brief stint in overtake, heading towards the end of sector 1. It is purple on the track map, but that can be quite unreliable through that left-handed banker, trying to maintain as much speed as possible. Now through that right-left flick, where we saw Verk's front tyres just gripping like they tend to do on this game. Campbell Adams have tried to do the same thing, down to 46%, 44% battery, heading down this almost back straight through technically the first DRS zone of the lap. He'll get a nice slipstream here from his teammate as well. Very well coordinated between him and his teammate Finns, who currently sits in position 2 with a 4/10 gap to the leader Lebsy. Campbell Adams, though, he'll be looking to make it a Red Bull 1-3 as he gets another slight tow from the Mercedes in front. He'll come around the final kink, and it's a 26.4 for Campbell Adams. That is 7 tenths faster, over 7 tenths, 7.5 tenths almost faster than AMS Lebsy, who was the provisional pole sitter. And Campbell Adams now sitting quite pretty atop the Tier 1 timing sheets. 8 minutes left to go in this qualifying session. 10 minutes have passed, and as things stand, a 26.4 banker for Campbell Adams. We'll have to see, is there anyone else on a lap? Maybe Mash Jr. He hasn't set a competitive time yet. 3 drivers below him also haven't. They're all on outlaps. Mash Jr. invalidates over that curb at the final corner of Sector 1. We will jump to someone else. Keith Respondek just starting us up. We'll see if we can find somebody further in on theirs. Set Dommy maybe? No. Finns. Let's go with Finns coming Oh, he must have backed out. Okay. Might be key for Spondic then, since he has not set a time. 60% of 6% battery remaining now, up to 70%. As he progresses through this second sector, throwing it into that right left chicane, almost kind of a chicane made of sweepers. You have to be precise and careful here through Jeddah. You need to push to the limit, but if you push even a centimetre too far, it could be race over, front wing damage, or your screen turning grey, giving you the suggestion to click that retire from session button. Keith Respondek though, that's not what he will want to see on this qualifying lap. Rear wing open, heading towards turn 27. The kick Sauber donning the car number 7. He comes towards the line. No ERS left. A bit stranded on the run to the line, and it's only a 28.6 for Keith. Aussie 2K Goat coming towards the end. We saw him set at 28.3 earlier. That was invalidated. A 28.194 for Aussie 2K, just beating that 28.5 mark. Can we get down to Scotty in time? Yes, it was his teammate crossing the line. Let's see what can Scotty do here in that Williams pick number 7, I believe Scotty was running to the line now. No ERS left as he sits on now 5% ERS. He was on roughly 10% as he sets a 29.274, crossing that line with 5.5 minutes left in qualifying. We'll see a lot of drivers do their second hot lap here, come back into the pits, put some fresh tyres and a splash of fuel in, and then go on that final hot lap. But look at Lebsy slide smoothly through the sweepers at the start of Sector 3, passing for that DRS detection point. Now the DRS activation point. He's got 15% battery left. Might see him flick down into medium to gain a little bit, and that is exactly what he's done. Coming out of the final corner now in overtake. Rear wing open, the V-carb looking to climb back atop the timing sheets. A 2.5 tenth improvement, yet he is still 5 tenths off Campbell Adams, who got a fat toe from his teammate and benefited heavily from that. Let's now have a look at somebody else. Share it around a bit. Nat Hammer just had a 17th improvement. Good for that Mercedes driver, jumping up from what would have been P17 up to P16. So Joshy pulling into the pits from P3. Finn's currently in P4 on an outlap. Cam going up to P5 is 27.758 for the McLaren driver, who was picked at pick 11. His teammate still missing from the lobby. Not what you want to see if you're that McLaren team principal, but he will have to make do and hope Cam can bring home some solid points. He wasn't able to do it last week with some disconnection issues, but big moment for Cam. They're caught on stream just for him. Verker's invalidated. Keith Respondek is actually up, so let's ride off board with him, follow him around the remainder of this lap. If he can hold these improvements, he will stay in P13, but it will be a 2.5 tenth improvement. But he'll be looking to gain a bit more time. It looks like he's got a bit more ERS than he did last time around, and he'll be looking to make it maybe brake a bit later, get on the throttle a bit earlier around turn 27, maximising the exit. Coming out, he's backing into the pits. He decided that he wants a shot at a final hot lap rather than getting an improvement in. As we see, Finn's getting a toe for Campbell Adams. Campbell Adams repaying the favour that he got on his provisional pole setting lap. As Finns follows him through the second sector. Mash Jr. not far behind, but he is on his outlap, maybe getting the beneficiary of a toe once he starts his hot lap. But for now, Finns will be the biggest beneficiary. Campbell Adams dropping back just to get Finns that bit closer for the final stint of this lap. Finn's looking to climb from P4, preferably into P1 or 2. Might be a bit might be questioning jumping Campbell Adams a bit, maybe debating letting him run away in the race and just get bagging some solo points for Red Bull. Currently sits second last in the overall standings, but he will get a very large tow, and it's enough for a 4.5 improvement. He won't have enough fuel though for another hot lap, and neither will Campbell Adams. They'll come back into the pits and more than likely retire from the session. Let's see, can we catch anyone on a hot lap? It might be IRT Mash Jr. He will not be getting a tow from either of the Red Bulls, making sure that they get out of the way, not giving any benefit at all to the Kicksau reserve as he invalidates. Not sure if he did that earlier, but he definitely has now. And we will just jump on board with maybe one of the Aston Martin drivers. Let's go. Oh, Campbell Adams disqualified from the session. Wrong way. Whether he did that on purpose or not, he would have set a 26.4, and that more than likely would have been pole, but he will instead be starting last on this grid. We'll ride with Sir Joshy that commentary for a bit. Just quickly got to do something to make sure that our program runs smoothly so we can generate the results for the league. We are back, lads, and Sir Joshy has invalidated his lap. Zox has not, but he's only equal with his time through the second sector. Maybe the tow will benefit him through the final sector as he jumps up to fourth. Zox will finish third, and he will not improve. Lebsy starting on pole, currently setting his hot lap, looking to consolidate that. Apollo Pepsi in none, backing out of his lap. Nuthammer kind of just doing his own thing. Maybe letting these guys pass and then going. Scotty has invalidated. Mash Jr. has invalidated. eBay Boy has invalidated. Glove Drip up 2/10. We'll have to see what he can do. He is the only driver who will set a competitive lap time, as Dommy is coming into the pits. Glove Drip, let's see how far up can he jump. He'll be looking to jump maybe even into P10. He jumps into P11, a 28.385. Apollo Pepsi, he will not set a lap time, and that is your grid. We'll have to see if Checkered Flag actually got in on time, though. Hopefully just get slotted into that McLaren. Nuthammer 50 seconds off his time. We'll just wait for him to come around. Just crossed the line, bro. Sorry, I shouldn't, but I think it's always easier just to cross the line. No point coming into the pit lane. May as well just cross that line. But your grid, Lebsy from Finns, from Joshy from Zox, Aston Martin, Lockie out that second row, Set Dummy and Farmer Sam split across the third and fourth row, same with 2K Go and KLX spread across the fourth and fifth, Apollo Pepsi, Globdrip, Verk, Keith Respondek, eBay Boy, Nat Hammer, Scotty, Mash Jr., Yusuf Goat, who DNF'd before setting a lap time, and Campbell Adams, who got disqualified on purpose. Who knows? But he was disqualified, and that is mainly what matters at the moment. So we will await this race to start. Waiting for these Tier 1 drivers to get things kicked off, pulling away from the grid. We will have a red flag. So let's have a little look at the chaos that arrives off the start line. Maybe see some drivers take each other's out. Maybe a practice start for some, as we see Finns jump the start. A lot of drivers it's causing some chaos, as we see eBay Boy retire. Sir Josh, 10-second pen. Ooh. Oh. Far out. Okay. So, we will go. Alrighty. Sorry for that short little break. Due to a red flag, it seems like we are just about to get underway. So, as you can see, 10 seconds until we get underway. No qualifying because of the red flag. We'll just go on what the actual qualifying thingo was. The results, Campbell Adams will, of course, still be starting at the back as he was disqualified. But we await the 5 lights to come on. Medium hard strategy around Jeddah, I believe, due to the high speed corners. A bit of tyre wear gets like, you know, like the tyres get a bit worn. That's what I'm trying to say here. But at the same time, I believe they have combated that. Maybe. I'm not too sure. But we'll have to see what all of the drivers go with. Normally in Tier 1 you see drivers starting on the harder compound and using the softer compound putting the softer compound on the cars when you've got less fuel. Tripping over my words a bit, but that's the general idea. The softer compound ends up performing better. Let's say the mediums, they end up performing better, and the delta to having mediums on less fuel is bigger than having hards on on high fuel. I have to judge the controller as a new Gran Turismo Daily races is coming out. But we see 5 red lights above the driver's heads. Flashes green for a second, and it is go. We see a couple drivers rise and fall. Let's have a look at the tyres. A lot of mediums. Only one driver on the hard compound tyres. Maybe not wanting to get screwed over by by possibility of an early safety car, but it is Lebsy who leads from Finns, who leads from Sir Joshi. As we see drivers off at the back, it is eBay Boy and Nat Hammer at what looks to be turn 3 or 4. You never know around Jeddah. Any slight deviation is worthy of a corner number, but you can see possible race strategies. It is medium hard, soft hard is the default alternate strategy, but a lot of drivers would have experimented with hard and medium in that pre-race screen and decided to go mediums. Not liking the chance of an early safety car, but it is Labsy who leads from Finns, who's already nearly dropped DRS to Sir Joshi behind. Zox not far behind. Then it is dummy farmer Sam Cam stuck in the middle of 2x2 by 1x2, as Apollo Pepsi just ruins my thing. Halfway through, he's stuck on the outside. Might have got a little warning there as he continues to go side by side with pick number 2 KLX. Apollo Pepsi looking to force his way around the outside, but the inside line is quite a bit better on this game. Slight contact is made. Kiefer Spondek behind, looking to gather any pieces, any mistake, but Apollo Pepsi forced to stick behind, and we once again have 2x2 by 1x2 as Kiefer Spondek still stays in P11, splitting the two Alpines apart, as we see Campbell, Adams and Checkered Flag battle into turn 1 with Yusuf Goat not behind. 3 extremely fast drivers currently in P13, 14 and 15 as they'll look to fight through the pack. Airbear Boy pitting for damage, and that Hammer was able to continue, maybe scot-free, maybe continuing on with wing damage. He looks pretty scot-free to me. Joshi able to catch back up, dropping Zox a little bit, but I'm not sure he'll mind. His teammates still in DRS range of him, of course. But we still see halfway through lap number 2, Websy from Finns, from Sir Joshy, from Zox, from Set Dommy, from Farmer Sam, from Cam, from 2K, from KLX, and Apollo Pepsi rounds out your top 10. Of course, points down to P15 in this season of AUSF1, making sure not everyone gets a point. There's no participation points, but we try to discourage pit and quitting by offering points a fair low way down. You can see 75% of the grid gets points, only 25% misses out, and at the moment it is actually quite a tight train back here as Campbell Adams and Yusuf Goat, as Chicken Flag and Yusuf Goat overtake Campbell Adams as Finn set the fastest lap of the race, and we see the two leaders side by side for a second by the looks of it, but Websy makes sure that events resume as normal, still leading from Finn's. Sir Joshy not far behind. Sir Joshy is very good at qualifying in the race, not so much as we see yellows, and Farmer Sam out. Where is he out? Has he hit the inside of the wall here, maybe? Looks like he had hit the outs. Oh, there you can see. So maybe he was just forced into that wall back there. We'll catch it when eBay Boy passes. But this is what some drivers might have been worried about: a virtual safety car, though not a full safety car. Hopefully it stays out for a little bit so I can illustrate my point. eBay Boy coming up, making sure to stay under Delta there. It's not visible on the steering wheel, but it will be visible on his screen, pulling to the left, overtaking Farmer Sam, and he might have just been squeezed into that wall back there by another car. Maybe his teammate, maybe Cam. We'll have to see. Do fireworks erupt in the Tier 1 chat under this virtual safety car? But we are back under green. As Finns immediately overtakes AMS Websy, changing the order of events. So the Red Bull driver overtakes his sister team, but they will not be allies at the moment. AMS Websy looking to form a rebuttal, and that is exactly what he does, and it is quite an effective one to retaking the lead over Finns, who'll be forced to think about his move once again. Maybe a bit of DRS chicken like we saw at Jeddah in a real life, but I think these drivers might be a little bit of a might be a bit higher, have a bit higher morals than to have to play DRS chicken to get a move done. But we'll of course just have to see. I imagine Finns will be saving up battery, maybe just sitting in the slipstream a little bit, but so will Lebsy. He won't have a chance to break away, and even if he does, you can just DRS train right back up. But Finns, this is where his rebuttal starts to form. He'll be looking to proclaim his greatness, capture P1 as eBay Boy retires from the session, and it's another virtual safety car. Finns forced to wait as eBay Boy retiring at that turn 3 inside barrier. But do we see any drivers pull into the pits? Might be a bit too early, but there might be some who think about it. As we see, Campbell Adams pulling into the pits, taking the gamble by the looks of it. He pulls to the right, back to the left, making sure to follow the speed limit. He doesn't cop a 10-second time penalty. He will fit on the hard compound tyres, possibly looking to go to the end of this race. Also changing his front wing, so he must have sustained damage that caused that reaction. Nat Hammer following him in, not changing the wing, however. Lebsy still holds the lead though, thanks to that virtual safety car. Finns had a chance to retake, and if that's the virtual safety car, had to come back slightly later, but the virtual safety car is ending by the looks of it, back to full throttle racing. Do any drivers get a drive-through? No penalties for any drivers at the moment, as they're forced to back off maybe a little bit to not exceed that delta. Or maybe the virtual safety car isn't ending after all. No, Verg, drive through. And Scotty, drive through. Scotty, one of the more consistent blokes around. You don't normally see him with penalties to his name, but he gets to drive through. Maybe that prolonged VSC coming in period, catching a few drivers off guard, but this, we start right where we left off. Finn's forming his rebuttal, looking to pass Websy, maybe holding back a little bit. No, he's pulling right around the outside. The DRS detection point, of course, after this corner, Websy will get another shot. But look at how much battery Finns has. Can he defend? But Lebsy also has a lot of cancels each other out. We might actually see Finns drop down to third here. Lebsy reclaims the lead. Sir Joshy as well, and looking a bit too far back, braking late, but not late enough. He was not the latest of the late breakers, as one Honey Badger once said he was, or maybe someone else said he was, but we all know Daniel Ricciardo, latest of the late breakers, but Sir Joshy not able to harness that skill inside of him this time around. Forced to settle back to P3, still going 2x2 with his teammate. Set Domi nearly falling out of DRS there. He's actually quite low on battery, having to push to get within the DRS, but Zoc, he's also looking to recharge, and he's also making sure that he doesn't fall out of DRS. He needs to get at the exit of this corner within a second. Can he do that? Yes, by the barest margins, less than a tenth, maybe half a tenth. He gets his exit all messed up, prioritizing entry, but that is the main thing. That railing is open. He might not get it for the second straight, however, and neither will Zox, as we see a yellow flag. That seems to be Mash Jr. Oh, glove drip. Back at the DRS detection point. Finding the wall, not where you want to be. Once you have a meeting with Barry R around here, it often is damage, if not race over. Missing that front left end plate now is a glove drip. The only, one of two Xbox drivers on the grid set, actually one of three, Finn's an Xbox driver, as he falls back down to second in the annual swapping of the lead for a brief moment. Finn's overtaking Lebsy getting him right back. These two just working with each other for the moment, looking to bring themselves, preferably not Sir Joshy, but they are bringing themselves and Sir Joshy further away from the pack as things start to space out on lap 7 of 25 here at the Jeddah Corniche circuit. Mash Jr., the first driver to get 3 seconds of penalties. The last of the drivers not to pit by the looks of it, apart from the 2 Williams, one of whom had to pit for one of whom didn't pit but had a spin and got damage, and the other of whom got a drive-through for speeding under safety car. Verk still yet to serve his. He will drop right back to where those Williams are, as we see Campbell Adams and Apollo Pepsi swapping positions. Brief yellow flag, not exactly sure what it was for. Maybe Apollo Pepsi, maybe someone else. But things seem to be continuing as per usual. Aussie 2K go overtaking GLX Cam. KLX looking to follow in the footsteps of his teammate, getting the squeeze. The number 19 gets outpowered by the McLaren on the exit, and now Keith Respondek might be looking for a move down the inside, maybe tucking into the slipstream of Cam. He'll be overtaking Cam. He'll be looking for KLX as well. He's going for the move. Senio on the brakes, able to keep it clean. A little bit of contact, but nothing in it. Rubbins racing is what some people say, especially with contact like that. Nothing too over the top as they continue to fight into turn 3. We've got a pretty shocking camera angle here. KLX falling down to 8th. Keep Spondek though, sacrificing DRS. He'll be pushing to catch back up. As Aussie 2K go, maybe a little mistake, a lifeline that he probably did not need to give. Keith Respondek, it helps his teammate catch back up, but it also lets an opposition driver catch back up to his DRS and be able to swap and get towed along, as we see Cam going for a move around the outside of KLX, and he gets it done using some balls of steel there, getting all the way around the outside. Hold up, I'm just reading a little weather warning for my area. Oh, that actually might. Is it? Oh, wow, that's actually quite. That's not an ideal warning. I'm barely out of it, but that actually is quite a fat thunderstorm. That's actually just impacted me by the looks of it. That probably explains what all that background noise was a second ago. As we see some drivers coming into pit, Aussie 2K Goat. He is the first of this little group to pit. We don't see any action within the top 5 group of drivers though, who top 3 especially tightly knitted together, but the top 5 they all used to be in a little group separating now. As we mentioned earlier, Set Dummy 1.5 seconds off Zox, Zox 2 seconds off his own teammate. Still a good haul for the Aston Martin team, getting quite a few points there. Let me actually add up how many points that is. I reckon it would be around 40 points for the two of them. It's 38 points for finishing 3rd and 4th. 2 extra points if you could get the fastest lap around here. Currently held by Finns. So as things stand, that Red Bull team will be getting 24, 4 and 2. So 30 points, that would be equal to a win as Finns makes an overtake for the lead. Can he actually hold it this time? No, you can already see Websy far too fast in a straight line for Finns to be able to defend. He pulls back to the racing line, slamming back on the brakes. And look at that, Sir Joshy now outside of DRS. 1.4 seconds off that top 2. Probably what the top 2 wanted. They're now able to break away from the other group of cars. Well, not the other group, it was just one car, but beside the point, AUSF Goat right back on the back of Keith Responder. He fell quite low after a DNF in qualifying. The battle for currently P5 might end up being a little bit lower. Set Dommy ended up pitting. I did not notice that, but he has jumped onto some hards. He's just coming out of pits as well, but AUSF Goat for now. His eyes set on the green machine of Keith Responder, looking to unleash his fury on the Sauber, overtaking him using the slipstream and the DRS, looking to do it maybe immediately. Maybe his idea is to get Keith to overtake him back and to re-overtake him on the start-finish line. But as you can see, AUSF up into P5. Keith Responder falls down into P6 as he gets overtaken by Checkered Flag as well. Forced onto the outside line, touches Checkered Flag's diffuser. No damage in it by the looks of things. Zox pulls into the pits. No double stack for him. His teammate did not pit, and I reckon he would have been far enough back as AUSF pits. Checkered Flag pits. Keith Responder pits. His teammate stays out. Campbell Adams has already pitted. He's in a quite strong position. 5 lap older tyres, 6 lap it will end up being, as he sets the fastest lap of a race, 130.116, taking it off his teammate of Finns, who's actually managed to take the lead and keep it the first time we've had a permanent lead change in the race, as AUSF Goat 10 seconds for exceeded track limits. You'd hope he'd be able to get that removed. Hey, not if you're an opposition driver, but like for the integrity of the league, you'd hope that would be able to get removed. Hopefully be able to get race director for that if he needs it. So for now, the top 5 still have not pitted. Those include the top 3 provisionally. They are quite a ways away, fair way ahead of the group. You see Kalex there in 4th, a big gap from the top 3 down to them. Mash Jr. slightly smaller gap, and then Zox still a fair way back. Do we see any action in the pit lane though? Yes, we will see action from the Red Bull, from the sugar-free Red Bull, and from the Aston Martin pit crews. Will Kalex follow them in, fitting on the hard compound of tyres with 13 laps left to go? after this. Yes, does Mash Jr. follow them in as well? No, he stays out. He'll take the lead of this race, but he will lose it once he files into the pit lane. As we see, oh no, he won't even take the lead of the race. Finns and Websy far enough ahead that Mash Jr. can only move up to third. Sir Josh comes out in fourth. They'll end up being third after Mash Jr. pits off those 11-lap-old mediums. And for now, I think we'll see things settle down in the race for now. Let's have a look at this kind of bundled up train. AUSF, Cam, Checkered, Keith, and Aussie 2K Go. Calix not far behind on some fresh hard tyres. We'll have to see if he can catch up. It is a very fast out of the train though with AUSF, Cam, and Checkered Flag. Keith Swandak is good on his day as well. And Aussie 2K Go is our reigning champion, of course. So it is not an easy train to catch up to, especially when all of them have DRS's. Campbell Adams picking up 3 seconds. Let's take a peek at the penalties for a second as we see Lebsy and Finns swap places. As Finns, I think, will just sit behind for the moment and get Lebsy again on the front straight, looking to get an exit with a good exit with a late apex. He's already gaining half a tenth about and then another half a tenth from whenever I said that. Finn's now with DRC will be looking to take the lead of the race, but he's not close enough. And interestingly, he might want to stay in second. He did not use overtake at all there as Mesh Jr. stays out for another lap. Interestingly enough, checkered flag, hopefully, oh not checkered flag, AUSF hopefully able to get his penalty removed as we see Cam falling a bit. Ooh, Cam and Aussie 2K Go may have had a collision as 2K Go with front wing damage, missing a front right end plate, and Cam looked pretty out of shape there on the exit of turn 2. So maybe my statement of it settling down a bit, not so true after all. But halfway through the race now, Lebsy from Finns, from Mash Jr., the only driver yet to pit, from Sir Joshy, from Zox, from Campbell, from Dommy, from Checker Flag, from AUSF, from Keith, from Calix, from Cam, from Kaduke, from Verk, from Nat Hammer, from Glob Drip, from Apollo Pepsi, from Scotty, 2 DNFers, eBay Boy and Farm Sam, both victims to turn 3. But we see Finns take the lead off Websy. I'm sure Websy will take it right back. I'd imagine he's flicked out of none. He pulls to the left using that inside wide that's shorter, which is crucial to get an overtake done on this F1 game. Let's see if we can find another battle. Zoxon set Dommy. Oh, it's been a slow burner, but these lads have been fairly close all race. They were in P4 and 5 earlier. Obviously, they've had Campbell Adams come through the field from starting dead class. Nash Jr. picking up his second 3-second time penalty of the race. That puts them up to 6 seconds of time penalties in total. Currently in P4, maybe holding up Campbell Adams a bit. I reckon Campbell a bit too far back to be affected. Also fairly low on the ERS side of things. But for now, we will watch Campbell Adams as he tries to chase down Mash Jr. Shouldn't be hard for him. Campbell, one of the fastest drivers in Oceania. Mash Jr. coming up back after a break and is on 15 lap old medium tyres. And with the assistance of DRS, I don't think it'll be too hard for Campbell as we see Finns make a move into final corner on the leaderboard. Campbell, Adams and Zox both moving through on Mash Jr. Mash Jr. will have DRS coming out of here, but I don't think there's much he's going to be able to do as Campbell Adams. Now his sights will be set on Sir Joshy in the British Racing Green. He won't want to give that Valvoline sponsor too much airtime on that rear wing. He'll want to pass that nice and quickly and move back up into the battle for the top three. He would only be 4-5 seconds off that top three battle, so it's not too out of the picture for Campbell to get a sneaky race win from dead last on the grid here. As Mash Jr. 3 warnings in the space of a lap. It's all falling to pieces for the kick for the reserve for Kick Sauber. As we see a virtual safety car, Aussie 2K go DNFing as I look away. For a split second, another victim of that turn 3 inside barrier. Drivers pushing too hard, sending it into the inside barrier there at turn 3 and losing their front left wheel. Not a full safety car yet though. Only virtuals, and I think this is now where Mash Jr. will have to pit. He won't lose as much time as he would have. But he'll pull to the left of that. Okay, he won't. I'll just shut up. I don't know anything about racing, do I? Mash Jr. continuing on very old tyres now. 9 seconds of penalties. 15 off on medium tyres. Just put the fries in the bag. Pit. But we still see Websy leading from Finns, heading through now to the end of Sector 1, roughly 2 seconds off his qualifying time through there. It was affected by a VSC, however, but I believe it was around 1 to 2.5 seconds off his qualifying time. Let's have a look. Campbell Adams now very close to Sir Joshy. You have to imagine that the move will be coming either this lap or next lap. I don't think it'll be long until we see a Red Bull 2-3, maybe a Red Bull 1-3. But Campbell Adams now 2/10 off with the help of DRS, using overtake to get past Sir Joshy, hoping to defend into turn 1. He will be, and look at that camera angle as we cut away from it. Campbell Adams, he's not super far ahead of Sir Joshy though. He does have a little bit of battery left as his teammate says the fastest lap of the race, takes the race lead and will keep it for the time being. As Sir Joshy not going for a move on Campbell Adams, will just follow him nicely into turn 1, and it is now a Red Bull 1-3. Campbell Adams will now have his sights set on the Visa Cash Out Racing Bull of Websy ahead of him, looking to make it a Red Bull 1-2. As we see Campbell, one of the fastest drivers in Oceania, doing his work through Sector 1, trying to make inroads on the lead, which is what he's doing. They'll be able to pull out a little bit with DRS, but Campbell is making inroads on Websy and Finns ahead, which is exactly what he'll want to be doing. No way my mic's been off. Bro. Apologies, guys. Was not aware that my mic was off. But, as you can see, safety car and the soft tyre will be fitted for all of these drivers. I think we'll see every single one of them pull into pit lane. Yusuf, Goat, Mash Jr., Domi. The thing with Yusuf, though, he'll have that 10-second penalty to serve. Could send him a little bit down the order. It'll actually send him behind, I believe, GLX Cam even. Quite a low blow, if I don't say myself. Keith Respondek putting on the mediums, maybe lacking a set of new soft tyres. But it'll be a 3-lap shootout to the end as Yusuf picks up a warning. Maybe he'll be able to get that removed. But we are currently on lap 21 of 25, 4.5 laps left. At least 1.5 of those will be on the safety car. So it will be a 3-lap shootout until the end. Scotty decided to stay out. An interesting call. Maybe if he pitted, he thought he would have been lapped. But I don't think so. So, interesting call from Scotty. As, let me just check if my mic's on. Okay, it is. As I said, interesting call from Scotty to stay out on 8-lap old hards. We may see him pull into pits after this. But we see Campbell Adams, the big name up top, P4, 3 seconds of time penalties. Maybe you can get one of those removed. Who knows? Oh, that's actually a big flash. Big bolt of lightning just caught my eye. Big light flash right in the corner of my eye outside my window. But we will await that Aston Martin Aramco safety car to pull into the pit lane. So far, the only Aston Martin to lead the race. As here comes the thunder. No rain though, notably, which is quite interesting. Late night storms commentating F1. Pretty peak life, if I don't say so myself. But after this, it will be like 23, 24, and 25 left to fight this out. The main contenders for this race win were Lebsy, Finns, and Sir Josh Campbell Adams. If he can pull out 3 seconds or get his penalty removed, is also a shout, but that is unlikely. Apart from that, I don't think I see anyone else winning this race, unless there is a crash up top. But will the safety car come in? It might not actually. It might be a 2-lap shootout. Or we might see a late call, which isn't too uncommon on this game. So if you're someone like Websy or Finns, you've got to be prepared for a late call as the whole pack has caught up before the safety car has and yep, a late call, just as I predicted. Websy will not have long to regroup the pack. It'll be as late a start as possible or a very early one. No in between, I'd imagine. We're right on board with Finns to see when Websy decides to go. When will he call go? When do we see that battery start to drop? It is now. His engine revs to a 4/10 lead for Websy. Finn's immediately using a splash of battery to catch back up, and Campbell Adams immediately moving down the inside into P3, gunning for a race win. In the back of his mind, he might know that time penalty can get removed. He might know that he is still a shoe-in for the top step of the podium. But Sir Joshy and Zox will be working together to consolidate that P45. Finns and Campbell Adams will be working together to consolidate a P1 and 2. Websy will be working with nobody but himself to keep that P1 under the name of Websy, under the name of V-Carb, giving 30 points to the V-Carb team, which they desperately need after their second driver DNF'd. Checker flag pitting and quitting by the looks of it. Only one driver not going to score points in this field as things stand. It looks like it will be a glob drip, but Campbell Adams still looking to progress further through the field. Everyone using a bit of battery to try to space out the pack. Finn's currently the lowest on battery, and look at that, letting Campbell Adams through. Maybe they're in a VC together. Maybe they're communicated the fact that he can get that time penalty removed. It's an unlucky scenario, but it is a possibility. And nonetheless, Campbell Adams a shoe-in to go from last to first at 29.440, the first lap of the race for TTM Campbell Adams, as there is now 2 laps left around the drag on a street circuit, and those 2 laps will be made hell for Websy as he tries his hardest to keep this P1 on track, which could be crucially important, as who knows, Campbell Adams very easily could have a time penalty that he can get removed. Campbell Adams move. When will he look to pass, or he might leave it to the left? Okay, my mic fell out. Wonderful. But unfortunately, my mic fell out of the headset for that final lap. But okay, wonderful. But let me get the results. Jesus. There. Okay. Apologies, guys. Pepsi won the race. Finn's P2. Cam Bottoms crossed the line. So if we can get that penalty removed, alrighty, so that will be the stream for today, lads. Thank you for tuning in. Congratulations to Lebsy, Finns, and Sir Joshy for finishing on the podium. Campbell, if you can get that penalty removed. But that will be the race for today. Unfortunately, Discord and the PSN stream aren't all too compatible, and doesn't share audio and stream, so I'm unable to conduct interviews for the time being, at least when you're streaming from PlayStation. But thank you for watching, and thank you for the drivers who were able to put on this show for us to watch. Turned out to be a pretty good race after that safety car. If only my mic didn't fall out of my headset. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. That will be the stream for tonight.